Tampa is known for sunshine, sports, and pet-friendly patios, but make no mistake, this city also has a dark side. I'm talking about haunted hotels, ghost sightings, cold spots, whispers in cemeteries, and I promise this isn't just a gimmick. These places have real history, real death, and a whole lot of locals who swear they've seen something they can't explain. Hi, my name's Alyssa, and I'm a local resident and realtor to Tampa, and I absolutely love sharing with you about the city and all the amazing things it has to offer for both those of you who already live here and for those of you still thinking about whether or not Tampa is your next move. If you find this fun and helpful, be sure to hit the bell so you get notified when I post new videos. And if you are thinking about making a move to Tampa, click the link below to download my relocation guide or set up a time for us to talk one-on-one. So let's start with the Tampa Theatre. When it was first opened in 1926, the Tampa Theatre was one of the most sophisticated theaters in all of Florida, and today is still one of the most ornate movie palaces in the country. Known as one of the most haunted movie theaters in the US, it also happens to be the forever home of Foster Finley, a projectionist who worked at the Tampa Theatre from 1930 to 1965. Finley became a well-known figure within the Tampa Theatre, often seen in his three-piece suit, and was known for his skill in operating the film projector and for his meticulous routine. Finley loved the theater and his job so much that he continued to work even after being diagnosed with cancer and becoming really sick. He worked there until his body physically gave out on him while he was on the job. In 1965, his colleague found Finley's unconscious body in the projectionist booth. He was taken home where unfortunately he died just a few weeks later. Staff say they still hear him. Footsteps from the booth, equipment that turns on by itself, cold drafts where there shouldn't be. But the most active spot, according to guests and staff, is actually the haunted dressing room, where strange noises, shadows, and sudden chills still send shivers down spines. And the best part is that the theater leans into it and even hosts ghost tours. But even people who don't believe in ghosts admit there's an energy there that's just weird. Next up on the Haunted Tampa tour is the Plant Hall at the University of Tampa. Plant Hall is one of the most iconic buildings in the city. Today, it's the heart of the University of Tampa, but long before students walked its halls, this place had a very different story, one filled with luxury, mystery, and of course, ghosts. Originally the Tampa Bay Hotel, it was built in 1891 by Henry Plant. This once glamorous resort hosted presidents, war generals, and wealthy travelers. Now part of the haunted Tampa lore, many say the University of Tampa Plant Hall is one of the most haunted places in Tampa. People say the spirit of Henry Plant still roams the building, often appearing as a shadowy figure dressed in brown, which has earned him the nickname the Brown Man. Students and staff also report unexplained piano music, ghostly figures in Victorian era clothes, and doors that open and close with no wind and no one around. Others say they've seen a lady in white wandering the halls, while some others have even said it's haunted by war soldiers. The grounds outside the University of Tampa still hold energy from the Spanish-American War. Soldiers who died of wounds or disease were sometimes buried on site, so that grassy courtyard isn't just a picturesque place to hang out, it's potentially a burial ground. But either way, ghosts clearly love a good architectural landmark. This next one might seem like an obvious place to be haunted. Originating in 1850, Oaklawn Cemetery is Tampa's oldest cemetery, and it could be said it has a lot of history. It's Tampa's first public burial ground and contains two adjoining cemeteries, and it's the final resting place for pioneers, yellow fever victims, enslaved people, mayors, and even pirates, including Jose Porfino, who was hanged likely at the hands of angry or vengeful townspeople, and Captain Hubbard, who met a more anonymous, if not glorious, end. His body, according to the modern headstone, was found in the woods on June 18, 1850. Both Porfino and Hubbard are identified as Cuban pirates. Locals and paranormal groups report strange happenings like temperature drops, EVPs, and even the sound of crying. Some say certain areas feel impossible to walk through, almost like the air thickens. In the early days of Oaklawn Cemetery, the grave markers were mostly wood and many of those rotted away. Even worse, the plot of the cemetery was misplaced sometime shortly after the Civil War, and unfortunately the locations and identities of many early interments were lost. Wherever you place your feet, you may actually be standing on a long forgotten grave, so it's no wonder the spirits are restless within these walls. Now we're getting ready to talk about one of my favorite places in Tampa, Ybor City. Ybor is renowned for its haunted history and is considered one of the most haunted places in America. Numerous buildings and locations throughout this historic district are said to be inhabited by the spirits of the past, including the Cuban Club, the Don Vicente Hotel. This Cuban Club was built in 1917 and is considered one of the most haunted buildings in Florida, according to the Travel Channel. It is said to be home to up to 300 spirits, including a young boy who drowned in the former swimming pool, playwright who committed suicide, and a woman who was thrown from a balcony. They're all among the reported spirits. The Don Vicente Hotel, nicknamed Hotel Hell, is built on the site of a former medical clinic and is considered one of the creepiest buildings in the US. Paranormal activity is also often reported in the streets and buildings of Ybor, with sightings of historical figures and unexplained events. Ybor City's rich history, including tales of villains, gangsters, and tragic events, contributes to its reputation as a paranormal hotspot. Ghost tours are a popular way to explore the area and hear stories of the city's spectral residents. So Tampa might not scream haunted the way New Orleans or Savannah does, but make no mistake, we've got our ghosts and they've got stories. Some tragic, some violent, some just weird. You can find dozens of personal stories on other social media platforms and even in comment sections of YouTube videos just like this one. People who grew up here talk about haunted houses in Hyde Park, ghost sightings near Bayshore, or unexplainable experiences in buildings that aren't even marked historic. There's something about Tampa's mix of deep Southern roots, immigrant history, wartime presence, and old Florida weirdness that makes the paranormal stories feel extra believable. And whether you believe in ghosts or not, you can't deny this: history leaves a mark. And in Tampa, that mark is sometimes cold, loud, and invisible. So the next time your lights flicker or your dog barks at nothing, maybe don't just assume it's nothing.